Hello, this is Christopher. I believe I've got two new Mandela Effects for you. In the movie Alien Part 2 Aliens, the Space Marines deploy sentry guns in the tunnels when they're running away from the xenomorphs. And that's how I remember it in the theater. If you see it on TV, you buy the DVD or even the director's cut, these sentry guns are not there. People remember seeing it in theaters with the sentry guns and without the sentry guns. And so it's like the silver leg of C-3PO. People remember C-3PO all gold arms and legs, whereas if you go back and look at the posters and pictures, C-3PO has a silver leg. And that's become one of the Mandela Effect situations that people are watching. So just like in the movie Aliens, where Hudson says, if you liked that, you're going to love this. And just before that he says, yo, drop your linen and stop your grinning. Found him. So, just to prove that we're living in the same Earth, this is Deception Island with the Kraken attacking the whale right off Deception Island. Okay, that hasn't changed. People who are searching for anomalies know what this is. Or it's a squid attacking a submarine. But it's 100 foot long, so it's bigger than a submarine. And then there's Starbuck Island, where it makes Roswell crash look like a thimble. Okay, so all the paranormal researchers go, yeah, we recognize these two landmarks. If you're anything in worth your salt in this, you know what these landmarks are, right? Look at this crushed object. It's drug across the island. Okay. In the Mandela Effect, there are changes. So, I was looking on the Google Maps, and we have a little problem where there's a country called Andorra, just like Pandora, but without the P. There's a country that showed us up on the map between France and Spain. There's Marseille, and there's Spain. I've never seen the country before. Have you? So there's Mandela effects in the military, and specifically boot camp, with the use of U.S. cavalry swords. I've talked to people personally who don't remember swords being used in boot camp. So I went through public performances of boot camp and went through the decades and got examples of swords and the crack rifle team with the rifles with bayonets, the M1, and the cavalry swords that are used in Navy boot camp. The drill squad practices with swords dating back as far as I can find records. And when I was in boot camp, I carried such a sword. And the argument that a lot of people that seem to be military veterans, I haven't investigated them, they're saying that no one under an E4 could carry a sword. Therefore, in boot camp, there would be no one carrying a sword. So when I was in boot camp, we had squad leaders that carried swords, and I was in drill, and we had the leaders of the first and second training units carrying swords, and then their squad leader. So the first training unit and the second training unit might have 40 companies each, something like that. So the guys marching out front are carrying these rifles and swords and flags. You have 50 state flags. And these rifles and swords. And I think it's a Mandela Effect because there are veterans who swear up and down that there are no swords ever carried in naval boot camp. And then I explained to them who's carrying swords, what they are. They're U.S. cavalry swords. They're probably different ages. Some of them look like they've been found on the battlefield, and some of them were like dug up on a battlefield. And they're as you get further along in boot camp, if you survive from week to week, you get to carry a newer and newer sword. Finally, at graduation, you have the brand new sword. And those M1 guns are very heavy, flipping around like that. There's semi-automatic, automatic, and sniper fire for the M1. Those are the M1s right there.